Hey, start all. There we go. We're live. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm Ed from Spark Innovations, and there's Rich. We got the notification that we are live. All right. So give me a second, everyone. This is our live stream, live and Sparky. And sometimes we don't feel so Sparky, but we can talk about that and spark something within you about the topic today. We are from Sparked Innovations. If you don't already know, you can go to our website, sparkedinnovations.com. We have this live streaming on our Facebook at Sparked Innovations and our YouTube at Sparked Innovations. We have additional platforms on Instagram, TikTok, even Twitter, Sparked Innovations. Not as active on those platforms, but we are still there. Mm-hmm. I am going to try and share this on my personal page. Let's see if it works. It's always slow. So today is Groundhog Day, 2/22/22/2222. We still have another day this year that's going to have more twos. It's going to be February 22nd. See, it thinks I'm logged in as Spark, so I wonder if it shares it to my personal page or not. Share via. So last time I copied the link, and I just went back. So let's, they changed this. Where can I view chat? There you go. Great post. All right. So anyone joining us that has joined us before, this is our Wednesday show. So we have a bit of a structure, and we're going to talk about a topic. We have a word of the day, a topic of the day, phrase of the day, and that's the 2 minutes intro. Okay, shared. Good. And today we're going to talk about competition, and it can be in several forms. Competition in business, competition SPL-wise that we do, or sound quality-wise, or the competition grade equipment that we see. So we want to talk about that a little bit. Do you have anything to say about it? No? Do you want to talk about anything? So Rich launched our new site. If you want real quick, so sparkedinnovations.com, it's still the same site and looks very much the same, but a lot of the functionality and hidden things and whatnot are different. And we have a big sale going on right now. Here we go right now. This is actually our most aggressive sale ever on our site and as well as our dealers. You will be met with a pop-up that says we are back ordered if you order from us directly. That's because we're in the middle of a renovation. We'll be back up and running the end of this week. However, there's still a delay. But our dealers have plenty of things in stock, and they are authorized to do these sales as well. So it's our biggest sale ever as far as the amount taken off. So go over to sparkedinnovations.com and check that out. Here we see, I like the purple and blue, of course, on the main thing. And snow is falling there. So you can see if you want to check out what's been going on the site and see our deals. We also offer, can you tell them was it ASEMA,
Affirm, Snap, and Klarna. Those are our financing options. They're like one's lease to own, the other ones are equal payments, and they don't check your credit history. So they look at your checking account and your bill pay history and your income, and they just make a decision off of that. So if you don't have credit, you don't have to worry, and it won't show up as an inquiry into your credit.
There you go. So a couple options for you, and we do have some deals going on. The Ultra Caps are always a good buy, so if anyone's interested in that. Now, you'll see one thing you don't see with our equipment. It's not mainstream stuff like woofers and amps, so you don't see things rated in levels as like pro or competition grade. You do see that on woofers, though, and sometimes amplifiers, right? Mm-hmm. Was it Kicker had the Kicker comp, right? Kicker competition. I don't know if they were the first ones. Do you remember anything else back in the day? There are other woofers out there today called competition, right? So that when you are a competitor and you're a professional, that doesn't mean anything. Really. I don't want to knock on Kicker because they use it to great success for sales and marketing, and that's really what it's for. But I believe technically the term competition grade comes from auto racing and lots of things of a higher. See, SPL and SoundQ competition, we were always like very niche type of organizations, hobby. Something like auto racing is definitely a much bigger industry with NASCAR and whatnot. So something called competition grade to me seems like it has more meaning when it comes to automotive parts. With woofers and amplifiers, competition grade just means that's the model that they decided to call this woofer. And if it's being sold in a store as a normal woofer, what's the difference? You can use any of those woofers in competition, right? So does that mean if I take the amateur level or entry level woofer and use it in a competition, or they're not going to let me use it, or does that mean now it's competition grade because I used it in a competition? So it didn't really make sense. But although there are people out there that means something because they might not be into it as deep as we are. So they're looking for the box for the description, the product description, to guide them on what this product is that they want to spend their money on. And sometimes it can be misleading depending on the manufacturer and the product and whatnot. We try to we don't have much descriptions on the boxes. They don't sit on shelves in stores like that. But we're fairly honest. No, we are 100% honest on our site with our descriptions, with what we tell people about our products. And having something like entry level to like competition doesn't really fit with us. And of course, as I talk about this, look behind me. So Audiobahn was a big, they had all those different levels, but they were mainly for marketing. It's a big marketing gimmick, right? We don't want to get too much into the marketing gimmick because the other part of competition, I believe, is it's competition in the market, that they're trying to set themselves apart from the other person, right? Audiobahn did that with the Bling, and maybe some other brands do that with their model line. They have entry level, pro. We see some things like called the pro level in car audio. The pro, does that mean the pros use it? And if I use that, I'm going to have the best stuff, or is competition better than pro? Where is that? So that's a way to set themselves apart. We don't have that problem at Spark usually because our products are pretty unique of themselves, right? Mm-hmm. There's not, the distinction is the product is what it does. However, that may change eventually. We might start making products that are more related or directly comparable to other products on the market. So we'd have to find ways to make that distinct, or advertise, I guess, and describe it of how it is distinct from something else. And that's tough. That's where the terms pro and competition really come into play, that I think. Now, competition in the market, we've had little of that, but I think we'll have more eventually. And we kind of set our company up in a way where we innovate, and we don't necessarily compete head to head. You have a statement that you always said about that. Like we innovate, we don't.
Oh, we create, we don't compete. That's the. So we don't compete, we create.
Yeah. So if someone else comes out with something similar,
we're already on to the next thing.
Right. Exactly.
We're already several steps ahead onto the next project. So by the time whatever is mimicked, copied, or whatever, our new idea, next idea is out. So that's the idea behind that.
Yeah. So we don't have to fight them and the race to zero, dropping the price because they came out with one that's 5% cheaper than ours, and we need to lower it to match theirs and this and that. So we'll just come out with a newer, better product.
Yeah, I guess I think this is a personal philosophy. but it's also been taught to me through business, is it's very easy to get caught up in focusing on the other person. And to me, that can be a huge waste of time, worrying about what everybody else is doing.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Well, sort of. I mean, I see people on Facebook just spending a lot of time and energy, trying to bash or compete or whatever. And it's like, use that energy, use that time to innovate, focus on your own stuff. And I guess it kind of goes along with the idea. I just lost my thought. I just lost my thought.
I'm talking about keeping up with the Joneses, basically. And someone will come out with something on Facebook and better than someone else's.
Oh, well, so it reminds me of a movie I saw a long time ago. I don't even know what it was called, but this one guy was pushing another guy for an answer because he in his mind, he was in competition with this guy. And he's like asking him opinions, and this guy wasn't giving him anything. And then he's like, I really want to hear what you have to say. What do you think of me? And he looks at me and goes, I don't think of you. And that stood out to me. It's kind of like, unless it's of intrinsic value to your business plan, just worry about your own stuff and move forward, keep creating, keep innovating.
Yeah.
That's how we operate. I guess it's just a philosophy. I don't know.
Yeah. No, there is the hyper competitive nature that some people have and carry over into business as well. I was an SPL competitor since the mid 90s. I've been competing longer than DB drag racing. So there's a slight competitive spirit, but never really that serious. Like if I went to a show and I didn't place, I didn't care. I still had the same amount of fun, right? And carrying that over to business, we've seen people copy our style, not our products directly, but take our design language almost to a T and make a product that looks like it could have come from our product line. And that, yeah, there's a little bit of a twinge of like, oh, what's he doing? Come on. But then there's like, well, we'll just continue on and make better stuff. And if our design language evolves over time, then it does. If someone copies the next year's version of stuff, then so be it. Then we'll just keep on moving on. So that hyper competitive nature in business, some people, it serves them well. For us, it serves us to the point of instead of battling it out, we're just doing our own thing anyway, because we have a list of products we're already working on or planning to work on. So we'll just continue working on that instead of getting too upset about what's going on.
Well, yeah, I also think, especially with this industry. So the way I was mentored or I guess trained in business and marketing was you don't want to be the best marketer. I'm sorry, no, I shouldn't say that. We were working in the auto body industry, and marketing director that I was working with at the time said, we don't want to be the best auto body shop marketers. We want to be the best marketers. And what he meant by that was if you have a mentality that you're an auto body shop marketer, for that, let's just use that as an example. You start to pigeonhole that. You start looking at other examples of that, people in the industry. You start comparing yourselves to them. You're using metrics and ways of measuring or judging your abilities by what that person is doing or not doing, rather than take a bird's eye view and maybe everybody is doing it wrong, or maybe not everybody has seen this other thing they would have seen if they were approaching it from a high level. So it's kind of like that as well with the way we even run our business, the way we run customer service. We're not base heads who just decided to start a company and have no business talking to customers because we have hot heads. We've taken all of the emotion out of it, and we injected professionalism that I learned in the corporate world. You know what I mean? Not, talking to people like I'm so familiar with them that I feel like I could tell them to go screw themselves. You know what I mean? It's like customer service. It's, the customer's always right type of mentality. How can I help? And I've had people apologize because their first email is got a little bit of a bite to it. And then I write back the way I write back. And then they end up like apologizing. Like, I didn't mean to come off that way. It was just a reaction. I'm so sorry. And it's like, dude, it's totally fine. And I think they're expecting a punch, back. They're expecting a bit of a challenge, or they don't think they're going to get hurt or whatever. So like I said, I mean, we don't approach it from a car stereo type of business. You know what I mean? We approach it as professionals in a business, and it just so happens to be car audio because we're going to expand, we're going to branch out,
Right.
and we need to be able to scale and grow with that. And I've seen this in my father's company with his partners. There is a point where the people that started the company are not supposed to be the ones that are running and growing the company. It happens sometimes where, you can have both. That person can transition to be that person, but you have to be aware of it and be willing to say, that's not me. This guy over here will do a much better job of that. Let him do that part.
Yeah. Let's go to the comments and see what everyone's saying here. We got Scott. Competition does breed innovation and it forces to set new level of standard expectation for products.
Yeah.
And I would say, especially in the 90s, the boom of the mall kind of did that when all the stores were competing for the same group of customers walking through the mall versus destination stores. Of course, our culture has kind of shifted from that, but that's what I've always learned about stores did better when they were in areas with similar stores, and car audio shops were no stranger to that. You remember we had Soundworks, Sound of Market. There was at least two others down in Center City, Philly. But if you go anywhere else where it's a destination to get to, and that's the lone store, they didn't always do as well. These shops down in Center City, Philly, always hustling and bustling. They had guys coming in and out all the time, selling stuff and whatnot. So that kind of, competition does breed it to a certain extent in the auto world with all the muscle car stuff and whatnot. It depends on who's running the company, I guess, also.
Yep.
Scott turns 30 I turned 42 on February 20th. And Olive, my 8-year-old, turns 9. Is it 8 to 9? Yeah. On February 20th, Jonathan DeMuth of Prodigy Audio, shout out to him, is also born on February 20th. So we got Lee and Byerly. Team are custom tooled for their select users. So that's like the Team Neos, like Sundown users, right? That's a good way to mark the name for their high level stuff. And you do need a model or distinction of that line. They chose team instead of competition. And maybe that's because the term competition, when it comes to woofers, got kind of a bad relation for us bass heads. We think of it as cheap stuff that they're trying to make seem better. So team sounds like, okay, this is something I could actually use to compete in SPL. Sounds better. Who knows, in 20 years, it'll be something different.
Hi, Aaron.
Aaron Randall, how's it going? Just got home from work. We're still at work. Get back to work, Aaron.
Yeah, we do try to innovate. We appreciate the compliment, Scott. What was that old audio bond? Oh yeah,
the one back there.
Yeah, Paul. We know we've heard your stories. We know that you've seen it yourself.
Great words. You pull a lot from things non-car audio for marketing. Yeah, it just makes sense, and how you run the business as well, in general, and how your relationships of your coworkers, partners, employees, all that. It's a business. It doesn't matter what market it's in. It's a business. And how to talk to customers. Yeah. The knockoff competitors fade away. The lack of passion to innovate. Yeah.
We've had, well, I don't want to name names, but there's been a few guys that were fly-by-nights. They come out with one thing and their first video says, I can't wait to see these things take off, and they're all cocky and stuff. It's like, all right, we'll see if you're here in a year. And they're not, and they made their money and they're off. And We're not that types. We have long-term goals.
Yeah, we built this to be a lasting thing. So in 30, 40 years, whoever's running it then could still be us, I guess. But, hopefully a new crew is coming on and everything. And the entity of Spark Innovations is still pumping out really cool stuff. That's what we're building it for. And I think competition, like Scott was saying, can breed advancements and stuff. But I wouldn't get bogged down in it and have our mindsets set on competing with everyone else. And that's all we do, right? Oh, this new one came out. Guys, shut everything down. We got it. We got to beat this product out there. That's our new goal. Like you're going to run yourself ragged doing that because so many people are coming out with amazing things all the time. Technology is always evolving.
Successful men make a habit of making decisions quickly and decisively and changing them very slowly. So you set your goal, you determined, you fixated on it. Now we're going for it. And that's it. And if you're going to back off or change or alter that, takes a lot of convincing. It can't be something that you're just like, oh, you know what? I'm uncomfortable. Let's just move over here. If you're going to be successful, you stick with it. You're laser focused on your goal and you just move towards it every single day.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of proof of that being successful.
And those long-term goals, you don't let the times like right now, there's some frustrations with the day of work, trying to get some tasks done, along with a slow period of business this time of year. It gets on you, but our sights are far down the line. So these temporary speed bumps, they make you cringe when you hit them, but at the same time, it doesn't matter for much for the whole rest of the road that is smooth, or hopefully smooth. There are bumps along the way, but things come and go. It is the way it is, and we are, like I said, our sights are far down the road. So I did see a comment. Was it Sweet Hoodie Eddie? High five, Vega. Thanks, man. This was a gift from my friend Pat. We both grew up Wu-Tang fans. This was a Christmas one. And if you haven't seen Wu-Tang: An American Saga, talking about business and how to market and structure the business as a business and not necessarily for car audio, if you are interested in business and music, that TV series dives into that and how they created Wu-Tang as a business. And it goes into their background and how they learned. And the RZA's brother just getting contracts and reading business books because he wanted to learn how to manage a business, not just a rap group, but a business. And that's how they made their biggest impact in music, is by being the first group that really structured it as a business first. And they created a multi-million-dollar empire. So yeah, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan for many reasons. Just want to mention that there.
Life lessons with Uncle Ed and Rich. That's great.
I am an Uncle Ed. I think I have like 30 nieces and nephews. So yeah. Hey dudes, Robert Earl Jones Jr. All right. Oh, there's our other timer. So we're at 20. We're off because why'd the timer go off on 23:37? It should be on 25 minutes. Okay. So this is our time to mention contests and sales. We do have a sale, which I can mention again. Let's go back to
here. Scroll with your mouse.
Where am I scrolling to?
The other way.
Oh, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
How much?
There's good. Well, a little bit back.
It's on a delay.
Do it to 120% or something.
Okay. Let's get it back. This computer's trying to
That's
do
good.
a live stream while
That's good.
doing this. All right, guys. So we do have. It's still going.
Oh, geez.
What's it doing now? Okay, let's just share it on there. So, yeah, we do have. Will this reload and show the main?
Yeah.
There we go. Our biggest sale ever at Sparked Innovations.
Cover over it so it stays.
Which is now to the end of the month. So this is, there's lots of deals going on. This is our most aggressive, most highest percentage off of Spark Innovations. It's on sparkinnovations.com, but also through our dealers. I know that Showtime just put up an ad on their Instagram today showing that they have the deals going on.
Paul from G2.
Yep, Paul. I believe Sky High. They have a lot of inventory, and even Down for Sound does. So even though we're back ordered because we're right now renovating, our dealers have stuff in stock if you want it quicker. If you don't mind the wait, then you can go right to sparkinnovations.com. It's only this month, so buy now while we got it, and while it's a good deal. Even if it's a meter or two, it's the lowest price you're going to get our meters for at any time ever, probably.
Thank you for the compliment, Scott. I worked hard on that one.
Yeah, I love the colors also. But thank you, everyone.
And Scott, thank you for that background. I've been using that background that you gave me, and it's part of the reason it looks so nice.
Is that this one?
Yeah.
It looks like a crystalline,
You
prismatic type
shared
of
it with me a while ago, and I've been using it ever since.
Yeah. We still did not find a winner for our golden ticket. So those tickets are floating out there, and we had not had them claim them.
Mm-mm.
So if you had ordered from us, check your packages. If they came in and you're like, all right, these parts are for my build starting this spring or summer, open it now because you may have a prize in there. We do have one more ticket I think we're going to give out. I meant to throw it in a package last week, but shifting around, it kind of just got forgotten about. So we are going to give out one more golden ticket. That's like our Willy Wonka thing. There's 5 tickets out there in any order that is $150 or up. And you may have a chance to get a golden ticket, which has instructions on it. So check that out. Nathan Potter is late.
Hey, Nate.
What are you doing, man? You're so late. But yes, competition drives innovation. Now, Nate, real quick, before we're going to head on out, do you remember any woofers that are branded model competition series or whatever the slogan? We know we have the Kicker Comp and the Comp R, but are there any other brands that you could remember that said this is the competition series or competition version or whatever? There's always the Pro. What was it?
Wayne Harris.
Pyramid. What was the one that said it had Pro real big? It was like Thump or Pyramid or the something Pro. It said like on the dust cap, it said Pro real big. Team RF. Yeah, well, that's kind of like the Sundown thing. The Team RF motors was the original TSNS, I believe. And yeah, Team Sundown. Team, I think in current modern day marketing makes more sense for what that is. And competition, a woofer called the competition series, was never really used that way. It would have been like the Vega Stroker or the Orion XTR. Now, Pro, yeah, the PPI Pro, the flat piston Pros that Alma Gates used. They were top series woofers, and they weren't called competition. Any woofer I could think of that was the competition series was more mid or under level. So that was a marketing thing. So the competition itself, I'll have to do a whole video on this, but I believe we lived in the heyday, Nate, the late 90s, early 2000s of the competition breeding innovation in car audio. I think we passed that now, but the seriousness of woofer companies one-upping each other, amplifier companies, we came out 1500 watt. Well, we have an 1800. Well, we have a 2000 watt. All that stuff that was going on in the early 2000s, I think is not really going on in car audio more. But that's when you could say competition really did breed innovation. And the use of the term competition series maybe led people to believe that this is one that they're going out and beating everyone with. But, I rarely ever saw that. The concept of competition is important when you're developing products, but the use in car audio of the word competition was never quite had the impact that it was supposed to. All right, let's check anything else out. Kicker Comp's #1 offender. There you go. 32K amplifiers. Yeah. Well, now we got those. All right. So again, we are on Sparked Innovations on YouTube, Sparked Innovations Facebook. I'm Ed.
Rich.
From sparkedinnovations.com with our sale going on. You can follow us, go like our pages, and we'll be back. Yes, I know we're over. We'll be back on Friday with a live stream, and our shop is almost together, and we'll have it a little bit more together on Friday. So maybe we'll take you around and show that. So we're going to do the Q&A stuff on Friday more in depth. If you want to talk about competition stuff, about woofers from back in the day, amps, cheater amps, stuff like that, then let's do that on Friday. So we'll catch you then, right? Any closing words?
No.
It's still going on, but many manufacturers are no longer involved. True. But we're here and we're innovating. See you guys on Friday. Have a good one. Happy Groundhog Day.